control structure. Control structure is what in all the languages, if you see, there is a if, elif, for, while, those kind of programming structure is there. Python is a language which is a indented language. So here you will see certain syntax change here. Just understand what is that change now. In this case, you will see the language is indented. So what is indentation means? Let me explain with a example here. Let's say somewhere there is a variable, let's say var1 equal to 300. Now I'm just trying to print this var1. See what happened. Now you can see there is an error called indentation error here now. Now if you observe the code, there is a small change, and what is that change? Is like in the beginning of print I have given the space, and that's why you can see there's an exception, and that exception name is indentation error now. Now this was just a 2-line code. Imagine when you're writing 100 lines of Python script, you will require to be very careful while writing the code with an indentation now. When you go for the control structure, you will require to write the Python code with an indentation only. So let me show like the demonstration, like how you can write a Python script with a proper indentation. What is indentation? That also you will understand now, and how to give the space, that also you will understand now. So let us say you like to write a small script, that is a get a stop to number. Let's say you are write a get a stop to number. Very simple code which everybody can understand. Now what I should do for that, let us take the first number, and I'm taking the integer here, input, saying enter first number. Let us say our second number, having again int, input, enter second number. Now let us have comparison. How do we compare now? If first greater than second, now here the thing comes indentation now. Just say colon and say print first is greater. Maybe you can print the first. In case, now here the colon, see after the colon, you can see there's a one tab. That is what indentation is. So here the indentation started, and here the indentation end now. Now again my next block started, that is else block, colon, and now I'm printing second is greater, and just putting the second. So let us execute the small script here, that is to see like which is the greatest number here, greatest number of 2 now. So let us see it. So it's asking for the first number, let's say 34, and the second number is 54. You can see the result is second is greater now. You can store this with with a file in the file also. Maybe if you want to store, you can just say in the Anaconda, that is percentage write line, and adding the maybe some file name, you can say great number .py. Just because I have several examples, so okay. Let me check. Here we have to be very careful while adding the number. This script here, percentage write line, write file, sorry, not line. So here I mistakenly wrote on write lines. It is a write file actually. Write files. So now I just store this file now, great number. Now this file I can execute from anywhere. So run it from here also. You can run it from great file, great number, sorry, number.py, and you can see now it is asking for the first number 45, second number let's say 65. You can see second is greater now. So very simple. like I just wrote a very simple code like to find the greatest of two number. Understand the syntax here, that here I'm using the first is greater than second, then colon is there, and printing there's a one tab is there. After the tab, I use the print statement. So this is very important to write a script with a proper indentation. Now let us write something more. Like let us try to write like a greatest of three number now, and see the use of elif structure now. Because in this case I just use a if structure, if and else. If you want elif structure, you simply need to modify this code. Get number 3 and just saying like greatest of three number. One more number will be there, and that is third number. Third number. Then you write here. So what should be the logic now? Here we have to see like which is the greatest of three number now, first, second, and third. So if first is greater than second and first is greater than third, then the first is greater, right? But here you can have the one more if, that is else if, that we can say here elif. Elif second is greater than third, then print second is greater, right? So let me copy this. Then second is greater, else third is greater here. Very simple. And now I just save this file and run it now. Great underscore number 3. Now let us see the value 54, 65, and let's say whatever 44. So it is saying second is greater in this case. So this is the way you can write if and elif structure. The program is very simple. Understand only indentation part now, how the code is indented. And instead of else if, we are using the elif structure. Let me know, you may have a n number of elif under the if itself. So let's say I want to add one more elif now. Just adding one more elif for the syntax purpose only. How to add one more elif? You can simply write elif. Let's say here I'm writing the elif second logical equal to third, let's say. Then number second equal third, and not printing anything, let's say. Just simply to tell you, like you can have the elif structure. Just understand the structure here. If elif, and you can have n number of elif now. And now let us try to execute it. Okay, I'm just say greatest great underscore number 3. Now giving the let me see, I actually save this. Okay, run, I had to do it. I did not use a run here. Run and see the result now. Let's say I have a 23 as a first number, then I have a 2 and I have a 2. You can see the first one. Okay, so let us see how it is showing that first is greater, because in this case the first condition itself is true now. And now we will try some other condition for the same program. So let's say 4, then 4, and then 4. Second equal to third. See what has happened in this case, first condition failed, then it has gone to the second one. Second failed, then gone to the third one. So this is the way the elif structure works. Now in case you want to add while loop for this program, how to do that? You simply write the same script now. I'm putting the while here now. and just saying the greater for and putting the while loop now. So where to write it? Here, let's say, let me write the while loop here itself, while true. Entire code. Now in this case, when you are using the while loop, you need to indent the entire script now. Let us do that. So I'm just indenting now. Otherwise, this program will get an error. And you should have somewhere break statement. So I'm just putting the last statement, the else part, there is a break statement. Otherwise, this program will be infinite. So let us see now how does it work. Run great number 4. And now I'm giving the here 4, 5, 6. So third is greater. Now, yeah, so now we have to give the third lesser than the second. Now let us see how does it work now. Let's say the first one is 23. Then here it is a 56, and here is a something, let's say 12 again. So what will happen now? Because we did not match the condition of third as the greatest number, the loop is continue, and this is the way the while loop works. Now here I'll keep on giving the value here unless and until the third is greater, it won't terminate, and that's why I'm giving the third greater now. So that's why you can see when as soon as I say third is greater, the loop ended here because we put the break statement only for the else part here. So this is the way you can write a while loop here in the Python. True is a boolean true, so here like it is checking like while true boolean 1 is true, then go for the entire loop and only break when the condition fails. So I hope you understand how to write the basic control structure like if, elif, and else part now. The next thing is for loop. For loop. Now to understand the for loop, okay, this is very simple in the Python case. Let us have a list as an input now. We already have the list we are defined in the previous case, like books were there, right? So let me take this here, books. I hope that's there, right? Now this is something which we already defined. Maybe if you want me to write one more times this, so I can just copy paste. Let's say books 2 or book list, let's say, and having the value here. So this is just to save our time. Now, if you want to iterate this book using the for loop, you can do that by simply using the for here for some item in a books underscore list. Very simple. You don't require to say for I equal to 0, I less than equal to something, and I plus plus or anything. You can take item is just any variable. You can have I also. Those guys who are very much familiar with I, they can use I also. It's just any variable from the book list. And let me do here, the things are iterated. Means the list is iterable, and that's why you can simply iterate it by using the for loop here. Now print the item, see what happens. You can see that all the list items got printed one by one. So in case you like to modify something like here, let's say item, and then you want to say item dot, I'm just trying something new now and see what happened. So what I did, I just printed two things now. One is the item itself. The second is item.upper. And all this is possible in the Python with a very, very simple, using the built-in method. Like I use a string method here. Item is a string, and I just use the uppercase here now. Now, let's say you want a nested for loop. How does it work now? Let us try nested for loop. For that, you simply need to have a character, right? For ch in item, print ch. So all those all those which are the words are there, which are the books names are there, will be converted into the character. So let's see the result now. Very big result because all this got converted to character now. Okay, so this is the way the nested for loop work. You can try even a simple list here itself. Maybe you can write a string here and just try to get the item here. You can get the string is a sequence of character. Now you can have some name and to understand like how does the nested for loop work. Very simple, right? So you simply let's say for item in the list or tuple, whichever the sequence is there. You can also create your sequence by function called range function. You can just say 2 to 10 and having a, the, let's say the step of 2 here, like first is 2 and then step of 2, print. Okay, I'll just print here by using the list means to iterate the entire item, because in the Python case what happened, in the case of Python 3 specifically, it will just display the object, iterable object. If I just print here, if you want the result in a list format, you just need to use a function like a list, or if you want the result in the tuple format, you will require to use a function like a tuple here. In the Python 2, you can simply get the output as a list by default, but in the Python 3 it is not like that. Python 3 you get the output in the form object only, that is an iterable object, and then you can give the shape to it in the form list or tuple, whichever the sequence it is now. So here this is the way you can use the built-in function also like list, range, and now if you want to iterate for let's say some variable like I in a range to let's say 20, and now you print, this way also it will work. You can iterate it. So using the for loop also you can iterate. You can iterate by using the list, you can iterate by the tuple, you can iterate by the for loop also. And in case you want to give the some, let's say just the even number, you say comma 2 here and you will get even number. So last one is a step of 2. If you want the, let's say odd number, you can start with the 1 and you will get the odd number also. Very simple. Now you can see like the way I wrote a script is very simple script only, and almost hundreds of 102 instruction I wrote in the notebook within a 1.5 hour time itself. Okay. Now the next part, I hope you understood like how the for loop is, how the while loop is, how the if and elif structure is.